So here we are, guys, end of the year. It's time for everyone's favorite part, and that's all the top 10 lists. Many of you may be thinking, Kevin, you're a little late to this one. But look, it took me 6 months to do the School DXD Hero review. I'm used to being late. So yeah, let's get started with worst anime of the year. These are the 10 shows that I just did not like this year. Now let me preference this by saying I did not watch everything this year. So there's probably a lot of shit that's topping a lot of other people's lists that I did not watch. Also, my opinions are different from everyone else. So you probably will see things on here you might have liked, or there may be stuff on here that you think deserves to be higher or lower. That's totally fine. Tell me about that in the comments section below. But this list is 100% biased. It is 100% the things that pissed me off personally. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right on into it. Starting with number 10, Happy Sugar Life. Okay, no one at me. A lot of people think this is a really scary, creepy anime and that Sato is like the creepiest anime character to come out in a long time. Okay, yeah, there are some really good, scary moments, and when Sato was being creepy and scary, she really was horrifying. Unfortunately, most of this anime is boring padding and filler to get it to the 12 episode mark. Sato, for the most part, just wastes a lot of time with the kid, and most of the scenes with the two of them go nowhere and are just kind of pointless. Plus, most of the other characters are really range from being uninteresting to ultimately useless. Number 9, Hana Botto. This show features amazing animation, a fascinating main character, and looks like it's going to be a sports show that really dives in to what ultra competitiveness or having such a high set of expectations or being so narrow-minded can really do to a developing mind and psyche. Hell, it even looked like it was going to deal with abusive parents in a way anime is a lot of times afraid to. So why is this thing on here? Especially because I thought this was going to be anime of the year for a while there. Well, unfortunately, we waste a lot of episodes on uninteresting filler characters, and also those themes, those serious, beautiful themes I thought this show was going to go into. Guess what? They completely chicken out at the end, never resolve any of them, and just go with this stupid, generic, crowd-pleasing bullshit, but basically boring ending. It sucked, and it was horrible, and the rival character is super hateable. What a letdown. Number 8, Angels of Death. I don't want to put this on this list. I was really looking forward to this. First few episodes were a lot of fun, and the back and forth between the two leads is great. Unfortunately, all the people who criticize this show online are 100% correct. It gets so slow and so boring and gets so just lackluster as it goes. And in today's world, you can't afford to be lackluster anymore. This show tried to be good, settled for bad, and was also way too long at 15 episodes. It forced every plot point to be really dragged out. I wanted to like this so badly. Number 7, Pop Team Epic. Again, don't at me. I just didn't laugh that much. Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I like the weird shoujo romance sketch, and I liked the Yakuza sketch, but for the most part, I never really did much more than chuckle at this. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people liked it, and that's great, and I hope the fact that that's popular means we get more experimental comedies in anime, and I wouldn't mind sitting through another season of this, and maybe they'll do better next time. Yeah, that's all I got. Goblin Slayer is not on this list because it had a rape scene. Goblin Slayer is on this list because it had a rape scene and then did nothing with it afterwards. What looked like it was going to be a dark, serious fantasy show wound up just going the route of typical, generic bullshit. Nothing else about this anime ever lived up even remotely to that first episode, and I don't mean that giving the first episode praise. Mark my words, if it wasn't for that first episode, no one would have given a crap about this series. Tokyo Ghoul Re. I didn't even bother watching the second half. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Next. Number 4, Gundam Build Divers. Japan claims this is the worst Gundam ever, and it probably is. I still don't like 00 though. This series has some, honest to God, some pretty cool fights. They really take advantage of the virtual setting of it. Unfortunately, everything else in the story really never works. The characters are boring and uninteresting, and they look boring and generic. The story is a fucking mess, and it's mostly filler for 20 episodes before the plot we get is so hand-fisted and not done remotely correctly or in a way that is good. So yeah, all in all, I really did not like this show, and it's a shame, because Build Fighters is a cute, charming little series. It's a shame this is what gets to be its follow-up. Alright, people, we're here. The top 3. These are the things I really fucking hated. And starting off this list is this year's Recreators, because it's the thing everyone else loved and I could not stand. It's Zombieland Saga. Yeah, people love this. They think it's hilarious. They think it's clever. They think it's creative. I think it's fucking garbage. It's not clever. It's not fun. It's not creative. It is basically just an idol show with a zombie skin on it. That's actually a really weird statement when you think about it. And the thing about this show, above all else, is that, besides the fact that it's not very funny, which is a big problem for a comedy, it's that most of the characters are completely useless. And on top of all else, it's very apparent watching this show that it doesn't feel cohesive. It mostly focuses on the idol crap, and them being zombies is so secondary, you almost forget it half the time. They barely do anything with them being zombies besides, a head popping off once in a great while. But for the most part, this series feels like it was 2 separate shows. An idol comedy that wanted to have some parody elements, and a zombie comedy that wanted to feel like a teen comedy, and they just kind of scotch-taped the 2 scripts together, and you could almost feel the moments that were probably left from each. So yeah, everyone loved this show. If you did, more power to you. I think it is just fucking trash. Number 2 is Citrus. Okay, let me clear this up. Citrus could probably be number 1, and in the grand scheme of things, probably should be number 1. It's number 2 because at least it was forgotten about quickly after it aired, which is good, because when you really think about what happens in this show and the message it's trying to give out, I feel like it is genuinely disturbing. And kind of dangerous, considering certain climates towards certain groups. Yeah, the show features some pretty horrible characters, save for the MC, who's likable until she just stops making sense altogether. You have some pretty lackluster animation. The worst butt shot I've ever seen. As an ass man, the butt shot in this show offends me. Yeah, I'm not even saying this unironically. So, yeah, all in all, this was a pretty horrible show. I'm told the manga has all the dark shit that happens in this series, but, that's the point. It's not trying to make it feel like a romance. It's supposed to be disturbing. Somewhere along the line, someone at Studio Passion did not get that memo. So, here we are. Also, the one girl looks like female Lelouch, and it really creeps me out. Number 1! Okay, it's High School DXD Hero, people. Now, many people have on the comment section of that review pointed out that this may not have been good, but does it really deserve to be the worst? Again, it's my personal list, and above all else, the reason this is number 1 is because I loved the first 3 seasons of High School DxD. I watched all 4 of these at once, and it had a lot of heart, and it had a lot of charm to it. And it sort of showed me that ecchis can have that. They don't all have to be dumb and lazy with the occasional good one. No, there is the potential for these to be really good and still have a lot of sexy shit in it. Then season 4 happens, and it features bad animation, bad story, kind of lackluster acting across the board, and it kind of brought the whole franchise down. Yeah, I remember when all 3 of these seasons aired, and a lot of people talked about it. It was very popular. No one cared about Hero. No one seemed to even really watch it that much besides the select few. It went down very quickly in a lot of the popularity polls, and it seems to have kind of brought everything down with it. If High School DxD gets another season, fine, I might check it out. I don't trust this crew to really do it right. But it kind of brought the whole franchise down, and in a weird way, kind of brought down a lot of credibility to its genre. These might seem like weird statements, but from the perspective of someone who really can never get into ecchis, at least not all that much, this thing really kind of served as a good sign, and it's gone. It kind of went down in a fire. So yeah, that was my list. Again, it is obviously going to be very different from your list. I am sure of that. Tell me what your what your least favorites were in the comments section below. Tell me what you thought of this list. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me for some more top 10s, hopefully as this week continues.